So last class what we discussed? Last class we discussed with the security concept. So the completely fusion security, the high level we are going to talk about. We are discussed it in the last class, and we discussed with how to create the user. So we are using with so we create the user in yesterday. So I think we create the user in RTA. Just I'll go to that. If you want to see the user details, where we need to go for that, we need to go for the security console. Just I'll go through the security console. Go to the menu and then go to the security console. If you want to see the user details, just you can go to the security console. And this is the user. First, you can able to see the roles information. You want to see the user's information, just you can click on here. And you can type it, enter 3 or more characters. So our username is RTA. Just you can use the RTA, able to find out your user details. And just I'll reset the password. Just manually change the password. Just you can change your password. I'm logging with admin user and reset with my old user password. Just I'll log out. And what are the roles we are assigning to this user? Just application implementation, consultant role, and having the employee role, and having the IT security manager. 3 roles we are assigning the last class. Just I'll sign out from this user and log in with our admin, our own user RTA. Okay, once you log in, this is the home page. You can able to see that, and here you can able to find out your user information and your employees news, and if you have any flags information, you can able to find out here. And everything you can able to see the folder was here, everything. So you want to go for the procurement, just you can click on the procurement. Under procurement, so which roles we are assigning that, based on the role base you can able to see the options here. Okay, so you want to go for any area. So you want to go for the my team, you want to go for the any area, you can have product management. Just it will showing the options here, which one you want to go for that. Otherwise you want to go for the navigator, you can go for the navigator. Both of them same. So if you want to go for anything under procurement, if you want to go for the receipts, just you can click on the my receipts under procurement if you want to go for that. Otherwise you want to go for the navigator, the same thing here. In outside you can able to see the folder base, you can able to find out, but here you can able to see the same as a procurement, you can able to see that, and purchasing requisition receipt, the same thing you can able to find out the under navigator, under home screen itself also you can able to find out that. Okay, both of them is same. So how you want to reach the screen, based on you want to go for the navigator and you want to click on that particular thing, you can click on that. And here we are going to talk about the setup and maintenance. So based on the application implementation consultant role base, we are getting the setup and maintenance access. And we have the home button is there. So any screen you want to come back to home screen, just you can click on home. If you want to search the something, you can able to search it here. So we have the search bar is there. And you want to be set as any screen as a favorite screen. Say every time you are going to be invoice screen, just you want to set as a favorite screen. So our Google bookmarks is there, same like you want to set the any screen as a favorite screen, you can able to set it. So no need to go for the navigator, click on the invoice. Just you can come to that, what are your favorite screen, click on that. It will showing your favorite screen, just you can click on the same like a bookmark, how we can set from our Google Chrome, same like that. So you have the watch list and you have the notification sign. Nothing but that you will get any notification, it will be highlighted here, the notification sign. So just we change the password, changing the password notifications coming to here. And you have the accessibility, nothing but that you want to change the font size, or you want to change the default mode accessibility, color contracts, you want to change the background color contracts, you want to change the font size, you want to require the large font or something you require, you can use the accessibility options. And so window help, show help. If you require any help to that on the particular screen, you can click on the show help. When you click on the show help, automatically will be highlighted this yellow color symbol. So where you are able to see the yellow color symbol, that area Oracle is giving us some information, not in the home screen. So we can able to find out when we are in the any of the module. I'll show that option. And finally, you have the user, which user you log in that. And you can click on the user. Here you can able to see the some of the options. You want to see the about the page, then click on the about this page, then click on the copyright information. Here you can able to find out your version information, which version we are using that. So here you can see that 11.13.0.0.0. So nothing, simply we call as a R13. So the version name simply we call as R13. But if you want to know the full version, 11.13.0.0.0. So this is the version we are using from this particular training. Okay. And so application help, you want to go for the application help. So here itself we have a lot of information is available. So no need to go for the Google Chrome first. First, if you got any doubt, first you can go for the application hole. Here we have the search bar is there. You can able to search it something what you require that. If you require some financial regarding thing, so you can click on the financial regarding thing. Here we have a lot of things you can able to. Some of the demo videos you can able to see that how to set the geographies, creating data zone. Some of the videos also is available here for Oracle is giving the free of kind of thing. And if you require anything, first you can search from this particular search bar. So if you know the currency, if you want to know the legal entity or what you want, so first you can come down here, you can search it here. Here itself will get a lot of information. No need to go for the Google Chrome. If you are not find out anything here, then you can go and find out the Google Chrome. So most of the cases it is very helpful for that. Okay. So that's what we have. The application is available under our user. Okay. And we have the setup and maintenance. You can able to reach the setup and maintenance under user or under navigator. You can able to see that. Okay. Remaining all options we can discuss it later. Okay. So just we are going to talk about the today. So not only today, so most of the days we are going to spend on by the setup and maintenance. Just click on the setup and maintenance. So once you click on the setup and maintenance, first we'll discuss with theoretically. So in EBS, what happens? So when you're starting with fresh implementation project, so you can use a sysadministrator responsibility. You can go and create with your users, and you can go and create with your responsibility. So once you create the responsibility, that responsibility we are going to assign to the user. So then the user is logged into the application. You can able to the configuration. So based on the sysadministrator, we are doing with this particular activities. So nothing but that if you want to do AP configuration, you should be create with AP responsibility. PO configuration should be created with PO responsibility. If you want to do the account payable configuration, you need to switch the responsibility for the AP and you can able to the configuration. If you want to do the inventory configuration, you need to switch the inventory responsibility. You need to do the configuration. Nothing but that based on the responsibility for that each module you are going to do configuration. So, but coming to the Fusion application, so we don't require to do with the already we discussed in the security concept. There is no responsibility. There is no system administrator concept in the Fusion application. So here in Fusion, if you want to touch up any configuration, we require the FSM access, functional setup manager access. If you have FSM access, you can able to do all configurations. Nothing but that based on your license. You have the financial license. You have the financial license. Under financial, what are the modules client is taking? He's taking the AP and AR. So if you have the FSM access, we can able to the AP and AR configuration straight away. We don't need to be create the AP responsibility, AR responsibility separately. If we have the FSM access, we can able to do all configurations. So your client having the same like a HCM license, your client having the HCM license. What are the license he having that? If you have the FSM access, you can able to do the all configurations. You can able to do that straight away. Okay. So if you require the FSM access, which role we need to be assigned? We need to assign the application implementation consultant role. And second one, we have the one more role that is we call as the application implementation manager role. Application implementation manager role. and second one is the application implementation consultant role. And the two roles: application implementation consultant role and manager role. So these two roles is required from the FSM. So, but each and every user is required in the consultant role. But if you are the manager kind of activities, if you want to do that, so we require the manager role. So in next 5 minutes, you're going to understand what is the importance of the manager role also. If you have these two roles for your user, you create the one user, you assign these two roles: application implementation manager role and consultant role. If you have these two roles, we have the access in the FSM, functional setup manager. So user having these two roles, we have the FSM access. If we have the FSM access, what we can able to do that? The user having the FSM access, what are the things he can able to do that? So if you have the FSM access, you can able to plan the project. So the planning is possible within the application in Fusion. And if you want to compare with an EBS, in EBS, the planning is not at all possible within the application. The planning, so the plan of the project and the creation of the project. So one project, what are the users are is going to work on this particular project. These all those things. It's not possible in within the application. So we are using some third-party tools to do the particular activity. We are using some third-party tools for this type of doing of the activities. We are doing some third-party tools. But coming to the Fusion application, if you have the FSM access, we can able to plan it. The plan for the project within the application itself, we can able to plan the project. We don't need to depend upon any third-party tools in the Fusion application. The simple, if you have the single access, the FSM access, you can able to plan the project within the application. The planning is nothing but that who has resource is going to work on this particular project. The plan of the entire plan, the manager can able to do the planning. The planning is possible within the application. There's a plan of the project. So if we have the FSM access, we can able to enable and disable configure offerings. We can able to enable or disable for configure offerings. Configure offerings. Enable and disable for configure offering. What's the meaning of enable, disable, configure offering? So meaning means, for suppose your client having the two license, having the financial license, as well as having the HCM license. Both of them license your client having that. You want to implement the financial modules, you want to implement the HR modules also. But right now he want to go for the only HCM. He having the two license, but right now first they want to implement the HCM. After 8 months or 9 months, once HCM HR module stabilized, then he want to go for the financial. But he having the two license. But implementation first he want to go for the HR. That's the reason these 8 months and 9 months, I don't want to see the financial options in my server. Just I want to see the HR option. Why means the 8 months I want to implement the HCM. After 8 months, I want to go for the financials. But I'm taking the license the same time from the HR and financials. So that's the reason just I'm going to be enabled only HCM. I'm going to disable from the financial from this 8 months. After 8 months, when I'm going to implement, then I'll enable the financial options. That means if we have the FSM access, functional setup manager access, you can able to enable and disable for your configure offerings. So this is the flexibility we have from the Fusion. If you have the FSM access, functional setup manager access, you can able to this particular activities. Okay, enable and disable. Okay, so if you disable, you're not able to see the single setup in your environment. If I disable the financial, I cannot able to see the single setup. Even though the client having the license also, you cannot able to see the single setup. That's what usage of enable and disable configure offerings. Okay. So these are all practical story only, not only theoretically. We'll discuss it one by one the practical also, how to disable, enable also. Okay. So planning is a possible within the application, and enable, disable the configure offerings within the application based on the client requirement. Okay, so then he can able to, so this offering, the terminology is a new terminology, but if you are EBS background, so offerings means in EBS we call as applications. Here everything we call as a offerings. We are not using the word as application. In Fusion we call as a offerings. In EBS terminology we call as a application. So both of them same. Application means in EBS, here we call as a offering. So in EBS we call as a financial application, and we call as a SCM application, and same way here we call as a financial offering, and we call as a SCM offering, we call as a HCM offering. So if you want to see application, just go to offerings. Everything we call as a offerings. So here you can see that these all are offerings what Oracle is using. So we have the financial offering, and we have the PRMP offering, we have the procurement offering, we have the product management offering, project execution, order management. These all are offerings. In supply chain planning is offering. These all are different offerings are available in the Fusion application. The same thing we call as in EBS, the previous technologies we call as a application. Here we call as a offering. So in EBS we call as a, here we have offering. Under offering we have the options are available. Under offering we have the options. In offering we call as a options are available. Under options we have the associate features are available. If you take the financials, under offering we have the associate features are available. Under associate features are available under offering. So under associate features, just I'm giving the hierarchy here, if you observe. Associate features are available. Under associate features, we have the task list is available. Finally, task list is available. Finally, we have the task is available. This is the hierarchy for your Fusion application. Offering, options, associate features, task list, and task. So we understand what is the meaning of the offering. Offering is nothing but the EBS terminologies application based on the license. You call as everything we call as the offering. Financial license, HCM license, SCM license, procurement license, product management license. Each license we call as a offerings. We are using that. So what is the meaning of the options? So option means, for suppose I'm taking, the client is taking the financial license. Client is taking the financial license is taking, and the financial taking the license, he have a lot of options. So he having the AP, and for suppose we having the AR, and he want to go for the cash management. Only three modules he want to go for that. So options nothing but the choosing. He can choose that. Options is mostly involved from the licensing part. It's not our real implementation. We are not going to use this term. It's a licensing part. Financial license, under financial what modules is required in the licensing. Based on that, it will come the quotation. For suppose the client want to financial license. Under financial, he want to go for the only GL. Only require the general ledger only. So we don't require remaining all modules. Then financial, under financial, it choose the option as a GL. That's it. So based on that, the quotation will come. So otherwise, he want to go for the financial and GL and AP. Then based on the quotation will come. Under financial, he require the GL and AP and AR and FA and CM and taxation and expenses. Everything is required. Based on the quotation will come. Options you're not able to see in your application, but in the licensing part they're using call as a offering and options. Okay. Under options we call as a associate features. Features we can use the EBS terminology. We can able to compare with modules, or you can compare with the responsibility. So AP is on module, account payable is on module, account receivable is on module, and fixed asset is on module, cash management is on module, expenses is on module. You can compare with modules. You can compare with. So that's what we call as a associate features. So we call as. After that we have the task list. The task list you want to be associate features. You want to compare with an EBS terminology is a module, and task list you can compare with an EBS terminology is a menu. And task is a compare with an EBS terminology that we call as a function. Okay. So module nothing but the API FACM is a modules. We understand. Menu nothing but the EBS based on the menu you will get from the screens. Nothing but that account payable while creation of the responsibility we select as a menu. Based on the menu the screens will come. So here the task list. The task list you can compare with an EBS call as a menu. Task list nothing but the AP task list, AR task list, fixed asset task list, cash management task list. In EBS we call as AP menu, AR menu. Like responsibility, under responsibility will come the menus commonly. So but here we call as a responsibility module. Under module we have the menu. If you take the AP task list, AR task list, FA task list, you can able to see that. Under task list, finally we are going to perform as a task. In EBS we have the menu. Under menu we have the sub menu. Finally we are going to perform as a function. Okay. So here finally we are going to perform as a task. We are going to perform that. These are the terminologically it was changed compared with the EBS applications, offerings, and shared features, modules, menu, task list, function, task. Okay. So these are the terminology we are going to use in the Fusion application. Okay. So here that's the meaning of offerings. Okay. Offerings nothing but the application. We can able to disable and enable from the applications. If we have the FSM access, functional setup manager access, if we have, we can able disable enable from the your applications. That's the meaning. So under offerings, so if we have the FSM access, we can able to create new implementation project. We can able to create new implementation project. You can able to create the implementation project. You can able to create. You can able to create the implementation project. You can able to create. So in EBS, the creation of the project it's not possible. You need to be, if you want to create the project, under the project what are the resources going to work on the particular project, and if you want to create, and each resource you want to be, as an assume like I have the 10 users, I'm going to use one project in the 4 users, I'm going to use it. So each user nothing but that, first user I want to be assign the AP configuration, second user I want to assign the AR configuration, third user I want to assign the cash management configuration. You want to segregate the work to the each employee. So these are the requirements. If you have in EBS, it's not possible. Within the application, it's not possible. But coming to the Fusion application, within the application, we can able to create the project, and what are the resources going to work on the particular project, we can able to create. Under the project, we can able to create the resources, and each resources we can able to associate the some work. In AP, one employee, yeah, it's one employee. We can able to associate to the our work to the under the project. So that's all possible if you have the FSM access, functional setup manager access. If we have, we can able to create new implementation project. Under the project, if you want to create the users who are working in the particular project, under the project, if you want to create the user, is like I want to create the user 1 and 2 and 3. User 1, 2 and 3. If you want to create the users under the project, yes, that is a possible. But if you want to create the user, which role we require? If you want to create the user, which role is required? We require the IT security manager role. If you want to create the user, for suppose your manager is there, your manager, he can able to plan the project based on your requirement or what he want to implement. He can able to enable, disable from the offerings. He want to implement only HCM right now. He enable the HCM, and after that he create the one implementation project. Under the project, so what are the resources going to use under the project? He create the 3 users. The manager itself, he want to create the users. So again the manager is required. Which role? IT security manager role. If you have the IT security manager role, your manager can able to create the users under the project. If we don't have the IT security manager role, what manager will do that? Manager will raise the request to the security team. Manager will raise the request to the security team. I require the 3 users from this particular project. The security team will be create the users, and the username and password will share to the manager. Okay. Then manager will do next level of the work. Otherwise, if the manager having the IT security manager role, then he will go to the security console and he will create the 3 users. Okay. And once he create the users, he want to assign the work. So you want to be in user 1, he want to go for the AP, and user 2, he want to assign the AR, and user 3, he want to assign the cache management. So then based on the project requirement, he can assign the works to the different users. So once he is assigned the works to the different users, APR and CM, and your manager want to monitor the entire project, yes, the monitoring is possible within the application. Nothing but that AP configuration. How many setups is done in the user 1? How many setups is done still at pending? How many setups is done by the user 3? So any setups are error out. Everything he can able to monitor. No need to be off the report to the user level. Just he can sit in the manager workbench. He can able to monitor the entire project. So how much setups is completed, when it's going to be complete this project, how many days it will require to complete this project. Nothing but that he can able to monitor the entire project. So within the application itself. So based on the status base, he can able to monitor that. So when the user one start the some setups, he's going to change the status as a work in progress. Otherwise completed the setup. Based on the status base, your manager can able to track the entire project. So that flexibility is available within the application in Fusion application. In ABS case, these are all not available. We are dependent upon some Microsoft tools to the tracking this whole information in previous technology. But coming Fusion technology within the application, we can able to do that. So once the 3 users is complete the all configurations, nothing but that user 1 is done the AP configuration, user 2 is done the AR configuration, user 3 is done the cache management configuration. Once you've done the whole configurations, we can able to freeze the project. We can able to freeze the project. So once project is freezed, we can able to create configure packages. We can able to create. So configure packages we can able to create. Configure package. What is the meaning of configuration package? How it is used for that? What are the configurations you done? These 3 users will create with one package. This package we can able to save it to our desktop. Nothing but we can able to import to our desktop. We can able to save it to our desktop itself. We can able to save it. So we know that our traditional ERP implementation means we have the number of stages. So in the ERP implementation, we have the number of stages. For suppose you've done the CRP1 stage. You want to do same setups in the CRP2 stage. So this package we can able to export to the CRP2 stage. Again, we don't need to repeat these setups. Once you're done, you save it to the desktop. So you're going to do with another instance in the same setups. No need to do repeated from that. Just you can able to import the same Excel sheet to the same package to the another environment. One environment to another environment, we can able to move that, import and exporting very easily in the Fusion application. So you done in the CRP2, you done in the user created level. You want to be same setups. You want to be moved to the another environment. Just you can create the package. The package you can able to move that. So while creation of the package itself, we have the options. You want to be create the package only for the sum of the setups. Nothing more that you want to create the package only AP setups. In AP also some of the setups you want to create the package. How you require that? We have the flexibilities available on that. So based on the package, it's going to be only configuration, not transaction data. Using of the configuration package, we can able to create by the package only configurations. What are the configurations you've done in that? Those things we can able to create the package. Using of the configurations you've done in the transaction, it's not possible. The transaction data, it's not tracked by the configuration package. The name itself is a configure, like the setup regarding things you want to create the package. Here also suggestible when we are doing the practice. For suppose like I'm giving the end dates from our servers, like what we are using the private clouds. Maybe I'll get from the every 2 months is going to be we'll get from the new URL. So once you've done some of the setups in the one URL, so just once if I intimated the new URL is going to change, then you can create the package, you can save it to the desktop. When I'm giving the new URL, so no need to be repeated again from the setup. The package we can able to import to the another URL. Nothing but that. So no need to repeat the setups from that your environments. If environment change also, so you can create the package. The package you can able to import and what are the setups you've done in this environment. Those setups you can able to see in the other environment. Yes. Yeah, so this is a flexibility if you have the FSM access. If you have the FSM access planning and disable configure offering, you can able to create the project. Under the project, you can able to assign the resources, and you can able to monitor the entire project. Once project is done, we can able to create the configure packages. We can able to create. So this is what we have. The flexibility is available in the FSM, functional setup and manage. So we'll see the practically. So we have the some more points I'm going to add from that while seeing up the screen. Okay. And here we are assigning the two roles. One is application implementation manager role and consultant. For suppose if I'm assigning the only single role, application implementation manager role. So I'm explaining the two things. If you have the two roles, we can able to do this all things. If I'm assigning the only one role, that is we call as a manager role. If user having the only single role, manager role, what he can able to do that. If you have the only manager role, you can able to plan the project, we can able to enable, disable the offering, and you can able to create the project. Under the project, if you want to create the users, like you want to assign the different works to the user, you can able to do that. But if you want to do any configurations, nothing but that I want to create the currency, it's not possible. If you want to do with some AP configurations, you want to do some setups, and you want to complete, you want to create the anything, customer, you want to create a supplier, you want to do with some setups, it's not at all possible within the manager role. Manager, what he can able to, he can able to plan it, he can able to create the project. Under the project, he can able to assign some works to the users. That's it. He want to do configuration, he want to touch with some setup. The setup related part, it's not possible, it's not coming by the based on the manager role. Okay, so based on the consultant role only, you can able to touch the some setup. If you don't have the consultant role, you cannot able to touch any setup. Okay, that's the difference between the both of them. Here the powerful role is the consultant role, not for the manager role. So even though if you have the only consultant role, even though you can able to disable, enable the offerings, you can able to create the project, you can able to assign this works, you can able to do all things, but you cannot able to plan the project. That's it. The planning is not possible with a consultant role, but remaining all things we can able to do by the only consultant role itself, alone itself. Okay. The most powerful role is a consultant role, not manager role. But if you have the manager role, the planning, the manager kind of activities, he can able to do that. The consultant role, he can do with configuration activities commonly. But consultant itself, he can able to enable, disable the offerings. Consultant itself, you want to create the new implementation project. System will allow. System will not stop you that as a consultant to create the new process. System will allow. But as for the business process, the manager can able to do these activities. But system will allow as a consultant, consultant level also, if you have the consultant role. Okay. The same thing we'll try to discuss in the application. So we have the two roles. We are assigning the only one role, that is the application implementation consultant role. If you assign the application implementation consultant role, you'll get the setup and maintenance active setup and maintenance access. Just you can click on the setup and maintenance. When you click on the setup and maintenance, you are able to see that this type of screen, you can able to see that. This type of screen, you can able to see that. Here, it will giving the mandatory setups list from that directly from the here. For suppose if you go for the financial, so the mandatory setups you can able to see here. Without knowing anything, also we can able to configure the 80% of the configurations using of these options. You don't know anything. For suppose you don't know how to create the legal entities and legal structure. Just you can click on the here legal structure. It will giving the what configurations you need to do from the legal structure. First, you should be create step by step. First, you should be create the legal address. Then next, you can create the legal entity. Then you can go for the legal registrations, legal reporting unit, manage legal reporting unit registrations. Step by step. You don't know how to configure the financial reporting structure. Just you can click on that. Here, it will giving the configurations list. It will giving that. But it's not suggested way to do configurations here. If I create currency here, manage currencies, if I go for the manage currencies, if you click on the manage currencies, automatically it will bring to the currency screen. Just you can click on the create button, you can create your currency. So if I create currency here, I cannot able to track it, whether currency is created this application or not. I cannot able to track it. So just I'm using this thing and I'm creating. I'm not done the setup any of the project. Just without project, just I create the currency. In the future, after 2 months, if you want to identify that whether currency setup is done or not, so you need to go for the currency screen and you need to search it. Then only you can able to find out that whether currency is created or not. So after 2 months, you want to, some person is done the ledger. He said, I'm done the ledger. If you want to confirm whether the guy is done the ledger or not, so you should be go for the ledger scheme. Then only you can able to find out whether the guy is done the ledger or not. So there is no tracking policy if you do with the configurations here. But still, why Oracle is giving means as a fresher, it will giving the some of the list of mandatory setup and it will giving the sequence to understanding the things under, but it's not suggested way to do any of the configuration here. So you can create your project. Under the project, you can enable what offerings you want to implement. Under the project, you can do the configurations. Under the project, if you do any configuration, we can able to track it. What are the setups you've done or not? So project base, you can track it from the information which user is done the currency setup, which user is done the ledger setup, which user is done the AP configuration. We can able to track it. The project base, we can able to track that information. If you're not create the project, you cannot able to track those information. That's what want to share this particular area. Okay, but as a freshly starting, if you don't know anything, just we can able to track some information here. That is a useful thing. Okay, and these are options like here you can able to see the all offering mandatory setups. You can able to see the financial and the procurement side, all areas. By means it is a demo version. Here all things are system will allowed, but if you go for the real time, what are the license you have, that based on the license. If you have the financial and HCL, then you can able to see the only two things, financial and HCL. But here demo version, you can able to see the all offerings. You can able to see that. Okay, and finally here we have the action is there. You can able to see that. Then click on the action. When you click on the action here, some of the options is that setup data report, export, import, compare setup data, edit implementation status, change future selection, and go offerings. If you go for the first offering, go to offerings. Here you can able to see the all offerings list. What Oracle is offering that in Fusion area, you can able to see the all things. All things you can able to find out here. Okay. So you want to implement the financial, then you can select the financials. So once you select the financial, you can able to see that financial regarding things information here. So configure how you manage the financial flows and including the assets, ledger, cash cycle, invoices, payments, account receivable, collections, and set up subledger accounting and tax configuration. I think using of the financial license, you can able to implement these all things. Just you will giving the description on that. And status is the enable mode. This financials already we discussed disable, enable, configure offerings. If you disable the status, it will showing the disable from that. Setup is enabled means you can able to see the configuration that your this particular environment. Okay, and here you can see the related documents, the financial recording documents. You don't know anything, just you started with freshly. You want to know some information regarding the financial. Here you can able to see the associate futures. You have the PDF, HTML, and Excel. You can able to download that. It will giving the what associate futures are available under financials, and you can able to see the setup task list and task. You want to know the what are the setups you need to perform the under financial. Just you can download the Excel file. This will show you the setup task list. Just you can click on the Excel here. It will download some Excel file. It will take the time. It will giving the all setups list out from your financial side. This time I open that particular Excel sheet. Setup task list. You can open that. You can see the financial setup and task list and reported date, which date you download that. Okay, and here you can see the all configurations regarding the financial, all configurations you can able to see here. So here task list is there, you can see that. Define common application configuration, the financial. What are the common setups you need to do from the financials? All things you can able to see one by one here. Okay, one by one. So if I go for the application also same thing, and I can able to see that one by one setup. The same thing you can able to find out the Excel sheet also. Oracle is giving that the whole information here. So this is a long Excel. If you want to see the all configurations, A to Z configurations, mandatory configuration and optional configuration. So everything you can able to see in this particular Excel sheet. Okay, so here you can see that task list and description also. Define the configuration for the common setup such as users, enterprises, and HR structure, security, and common reference object for the Oracle Fusion Financial. For suppose just I'm going to be some project, I'll show it the same thing in the application. We'll create our own project. This I'm showing with the existing some project for the understanding. So if I go for the financial project, same thing you can able to see that. Just I click on the expand that. The same thing I can able to find out that define common application configuration for the financial. We want to know that what is the use of this setup. Define common application configuration financial. As a fresher, I don't know anything. Just I can come to this Excel sheet. It will give you the information description for that. What is the use? Define the configuration common setup from the users. If you want to create the user, under that you can able to create, and the enterprise, if you want to create the enterprise, you can able to do with the using of the this particular task list. You can able to do that. To expand, you can able to see the those setups. You can able to see that it will giving the overview kind of thing, what things we are going to be implement if you use this particular option. Okay, that information you can able to find out here. And the product is the financial product, and product family is a financial. That is a required setup. Yes, it's a required setup. We need to be complete this setup. Whether it's conditional, no, it's not a conditional. And it will giving the some more information, ADF task list flow and web services and business update information also you can able to see that. So under define configuration financial, what you have the next setup, define synchronization of users and roles from LDAP. We discussed that thing in the second class. The data is synchronized in the Fusion application based on by the your LDAP, lightweight directory access protocol. If you create the user and we log in with that user credential to the login with application, and once we're done with something in the application, like the data should be synchronized. Once we are assigning some role to the user, based on the role base, the user need to get the access. So user want to get the access based on the role base, the role information should be synchronized to the user. So there we have the LDAP jobs is there already we discussed, lightweight directory access protocol jobs. It's available in the backend. We don't need to do anything. So automatically we need to be enabled when we start the fresh implementation project. Once you enable, automatically the synchronization happen. But suppose you are creating the one user and you are assigning the some role. Once you log in with that particular user, you're not able to see the role regarding the access. The role regarding the access, you're not able to find out the in your user. So what we can able to do in the front end, we can able to manually we can able to run this LDAP program manually. So in the front end as a functional guy, we don't have chance to go on the back end configurations. We can, if you are not find out the something, the roles a synchronization problem you observed. I think as in the role, I'm not able to find out the something in the my front end. Just we have the chance to run the LDAP. There's a user define synchronization of users. But suppose you want to be know the more information from that. Run process to populate the product tables containing the users and roles information with the user roles and the LDAP. This process is always first implementation task. What he is giving information, when you're doing the first implementation, this process need to be completed. That's what he will give information. So run the process and populate the tables content. This process is always first implementation task, but can also run periodically to keep the product updates. Like it will give the information, but he is suggesting to that when you're doing the fresh implementation project, when you create the user, first you can run the LDAP, then you can start your project. Then you can start with any of the configuration. So in the future also, when we create the many users, first we'll run the LDAP only. So we'll assign the roles, and first we can start the LDAP synchronization, then we can start with other configurations. Why means the roles information should be synchronized to your user, then only we'll get from the output from the properly. Okay. So this Excel, it's useful for that initial stage. You want to know what task you are going to perform. Here also you can able to see the same thing. If I click on this particular thing, you can able to see the same thing. Define synchronizations of users and run LDAP. When you see this particular task, you are not able to understand what is the use of this task. Then you can go for the Excel sheet. It will give you some description on the particular task. Maybe as a fresher, you are able to understand what's the usage of this particular task to perform this particular project. Okay, the same thing, define implementation users if you want to create the implementation users. So the same thing enables in the run users on synchronization, and it will showing the task list and a task also. It is a task list, and other we have the task. Task is nothing but that exactly we are going to perform. Here, define synchronization of users. If I click on that, I can able to perform the task. This is the task. You can click on the task. We are going to perform the synchronization. Nothing but that. Already we discussed. We have the offering. Under offerings, we have the assured features. Under assured features, we have the task list, and finally we are going to perform the task. So this is what we have the offerings. So the financial is a offering. Under financial, we have the assured features, define invoicing and payment configuration, define receivable, define expenses, define fixed asset. Under assured features, we have the task list. We have the task list. We have the different task list. You can able to see that. These all are task list. You can able to see that. Under task list, we are going to perform by the task. In EBS called as a responsibility. Under responsibility, we have the menu. Under menu, we have the sub menu. Under sub menu, we have the function. There is a hierarchy in EBS. Here, offering, assured feature, task list, task. Offering compare with an application, nothing but the same flow, but terminology is a change, a little bit change. Okay. So this is what, when you're doing the freshly, you can suggestible to download this particular task list file. You can able to download, and you'll get from the description from the each and every task. It's going to be useful for the as a fresher kind of thing. Okay. Still going back to that particular screen where we are. Okay, here we are there, and we are in the go to offering. So here we are download that particular Excel sheet. Then same way you have the sheet features, setup links, related business object, related to enterprise application. If you require any kind of information you require, just you can download this particular information. You can able to see that when we start the freshly from this particular user. Okay. So not only this financial, if you want to know the procurement, the same thing you can able to find out that procurement regarding the configurations or shared features, related business objects, you can able to find out here. Okay. Then click on the done. Then here we have the task list is there. We'll discuss this import and export or this kind of thing. We'll discuss in the next level. So initially maybe you're not able to understand exactly. Just we have the task list is there. Under task list, we have some options: manage implementation project, copy configuration, manage configuration packages. Already we discussed. If you have the FSM access, we can able to create the configuration package. Just I'm highlighting the highlighting points, but otherwise, if you want to tell to that what access will get from the FSM, you can able to tell to this all things. Manage implementation project, we can able to implement the project. Copy configuration, I can able to copy the configuration. I can able to configuration package. I can able to easily import and export if I have the FSM access. You can able to tell the same thing. But I'm just highlighting from the highlight points from the here. You know what we discuss in the Excel sheet. Okay. So mainly we'll go for the manage implementation project. Okay. So here I can able to see a lot of projects, like everyone they want to create their own project. That's the reason you can able to see the lot of project. But when you are going to implementation project, your own uh, if you are working on any client side, maybe you can able to see the 1 or 2 projects. That's it. What is the implementation project? What is the meaning of the implementation project? So the project itself, the project means it's what task you want to perform under the project. So nothing more that I want to implement the financial. I have the, for suppose your client having the 2 license. One is having the financial license, and he having the HCM license. He having the 2 license. So if you want to create the one project, under the one project you want to implement the financial and HCM, nothing but that you can able to group the financial task, you can able to group the HR task, and you can create the one project. Under the project you can able to do the all configurations. Otherwise you want to go for the separate project. Financial is a separate one and HCM is a separate one. Nothing but the project means the simple statement, what task you want to perform that. Based on your requirement, you can able to group the task and you can able to implement. That's it. You want to group the financial and HCM task and you want to implement one project, you can able to group it and you can able to implement. Otherwise, you want to go for the separate financial separate implementation project, HCM is separate implementation project. Then you can create the 2 projects, you can able to implement. But suggested way is that creation of the 2 projects. For the same scenario, your client having the financial license, your client having the HCM license, your client having the SCM license. The suggested way is that 3 go for the separate project, not from the single project. If you go for the single project, maybe the user is going to be confused with that. Why means the common setups are available. The financial also we can able to create the legal entity. HCM also we can able to create the legal entity, and SCM also we can able to create the legal entity. So the common task, maybe the user is going to be confused. So there's a reason, suggested way to go for the separate implementation project for the separate offering. Okay. So here, if you want to create the project, just you can create the project. Here you can click on the create the project. Otherwise, already you create the project. If you want to search the project, you can able to search it directly. Okay. So, but I want to create the new project. Then you can click on the create button. And the name of your project, you can give the name of your project. So I'll use the RTA implement project. RTA implement project. You can give the any of the name, what project name you require that. And you can mention the code. Code it will take automatically. What your name you will give it automatically. System will pick up from the code RTA implement project. You can give the description of your project. And status still yet not started, and assign to that. We log in with RTA and we create this project. You want to assign yourself, otherwise you want to assign to the any other person. So it's like, for suppose the RTA user is a manager. Manager is creating the project, and he want to assign the entire project to some team lead. Here he want to assign the entire project to some team lead, but the manager is creating the project and he's going to be assigned to the some other person or team lead. You can assume like team lead. So you want to assign to the other person, just go and switch it. Which person you want to assign. So we have some seeded employees list is there. You can able to see that. But suppose you want to be assigned the entire project to the Aaron, just you can select that. That means RTA is creating the project and he is assigned to the James Aaron. He is going to be responsible for this entire project. Yes, based on your requirement, based on the project requirement, your manager can able to create the project. The manager can able to assign this project to some other person, entire project. So otherwise, you want to be assigned yourself, you can assign that. So based on the project requirement, how he requires that. You want to assign alone itself. And start date, when you start the start date, if you have any expected finish date, you can put on that, but it's not mandatory. Only start date is a mandatory. Name and code start date is a mandatory. Just the minimal information we are going to provide in this particular script. What is the name of the project, code, description, assigned to start date, the minimal information we are providing this particular script. Then you can click on the next. So here you need to be enabled what exactly you want to implement. Just I'm creating the project name, TA implementation project. So you want to assign to the other person, you can assign. Otherwise, you want to assign yourself, you can assign. That's it. The next step, this is the using of the RTA implementation project. What you want to implement? You want to implement the financial, you want to implement the HCM, you want to implement the procurement. What exactly you want to implement? We need to be enabled those things here. So you want to implement the financial, then you can enable the financial. Under financial, what you want to implement again? You want to implement supplier invoicing processing, nothing but the AP, then you can enable that. You don't want to be configure the AP in this particular project, you can disable that. If I'm not enabled, I'm not able to see the any setup regarding the AP, this particular project. If you enable, then only you can able to see the AP setups under the project. In ABS case, what happened? In AP setups, you want to be do that, you need to be create the AP responsibility. Yeah, responsibility. Then only you can able to see those setups. But here, what happened while creation of the project? What you enable that based on the enabling, you are able to see the under the project. Okay, you want to compare with the setup is look like in EVS responsibility type. What exactly you want to see that? Okay, so I want to implement the AP setups. I want to implement the expenses setups. I want to implement the fixed asset. I want to implement the account receivable. I want to implement the revenue management. Under revenue management, you want to implement the collections you can enable, and you want to implement the intra-company. You want to implement the budgetary control and encumbrance account. You want to implement. And if you want to implement the financial business intelligence analytics, nothing but that BA, you want to implement, you can enable. What exactly you want to implement under this project, you can enable that. So you don't want to implement the financials, you don't want to implement the expenses, just you can disable that. But I'm enabling all things here. I want to implement the entire financials. Then you can click on the save and open project. Save and open project. So based on the your enabling, system will be generate the project here. Based on the enabling, based on the which assured features you enable that, based on the future based system will be generating the task list. AP task list, AR task list, FA task list, expenses task list. What I enable, what are the enable checkbox I am enabled here. Based on that, system will be generating the task list. The task list means in EBS menu. Menu is generated with automatically in the Fusion application. So here you can see that maybe I'm enabling the accounting hub also. This is the reason again I'll disable that. So here you can see that the name of the project is a RTA implementation project. Code is the same thing. Status still have not started. Assigned to RTA, and status date is a today date. Finisher date we are not giving any expert date. Then here you can able to see the financials. If I click on the financial, I can able to see the what you enable that. We enable that AP, we enable the expenses, we enable the fixed asset, you enable the receivable, you enable the revenue management, you enable the cash management, and we are enabling the advanced collections. What things we enabled in that while creation of the project, based on that, you can able to see the task list. In ABS terminology is a menu. In ABS, you want to be perform the some setups, you require the AP responsibility, AR responsibility. Based on the responsibility, time we select as a menu, which menu we require that. Same thing here, while creation of the project we selected, what things we enabled, based on the, you can able to see that. I'm enabled the budget encumbrance, that's the reason I can able to see that. I'm enabled that BA, transaction business intelligence configuration, I can able to see that. Define extension of the financials. What you enable the based on things, you can able to see here, task list. This is what we call as a task list. Under task list, we have the task we are going to perform that. Okay. So I can say that on the task list, we have the sub-task list. Under sub-task list, we are going to perform by the task. Okay. So this is what we have to creation of the project, enabling of the assured features under the project. If you enable the financial, the first two things is the enables the define common application configuration the financial. Define common financial configurations. Two things you can enable. Common application configure for the financial, define common financial for the configuration. Common application configuration, the financials. That means common things for. What are the common things? Like enterprise structure is a common. What are the common things? Shared setup with the procurement, shared with some of the setups HR, shared setup, common things for that. Those things which is available in the defined common application configuration of financial, define common financial configuration. What are the common things for the financial? It's only applicable from the financial only. It will not share to the other things. Those things it is available in the defined common for financial configuration. Common application means it's going to share it for the other application. Common for the only for the financials. That is the difference. Under that, what you enable the AP setup, expenses, fixed asset, receivable, revenue management. You can able to the all configurations one by one. Okay. So assume like that. This is what we create that RTA implementation project. We create that under the project. Just come back and go to the again. Manage implementation project. You can query your project. Our project is the RTA. Just now we created, and I can open. So initially, I thought that I want to implement the only financial. Using up the RTA implementation project. Initially, I thought that I want to implement only financial. In future, so you're changing that your decision. Using up the RTA implementation project, I want to implement the HCM also. Initially, I thought that I want to go for the only financial. After that, I realized that I want to go for the HCM also. Otherwise, I want to go for the procurement also. Otherwise, I want to go for the product management also. So how we can able to extend our project? Otherwise, how we can able to add the task list to the existing project? So we have the option called as a select and added here. Select and add. Just click on the select and add. Again, here we can able to see the task list and task. You want to add the task list, nothing more that you want to add with procurement task list to this existing project. Otherwise, you want to add with some task, HR related of task you want to add, some task you want to add to this project. So how? Based on your requirement. If you want to add with any task list to the existing project, that is a possible. If you want to add with any of the tasks to the existing project, that is a possible. Okay. So you want to be add with procurement. So you can select the procurement, then click on apply and done. And click on the apply and done. But if adding the under the financial somewhere, here you can able to see the procurement task list added. You want to add the product management. That's what you want to extend that based on your requirement. You want to extend that. You want to add with product management offering. Then you can select the product management, then apply and done. Apply and done. You can able to see that product management. We are not able to see the product management here. If you cannot find out, just again you can go back. Just again you can click on the search. Again you can select the product management, then click on the apply. If it is already added, it will show in that. The task list product management already exists to the procurement task list. Under procurement task list, the product management also added. Where it is added, you can able to find out that. Okay. Then click on, then go to the procurement. Just you can click on the procurement. Under procurement, you can able to see the product management. Here you can able to see the product management. Nothing but that. Anytime you can able to extend your task list. Anytime you can able to delete the task list. If I want to delete the product management, yes, you can able to delete. You can select it. You can click on the delete. You can click on the remove it. Then click on the S. Nothing but that anytime you can able to delete it, anytime you can able to extend your task list. The flexibility is available in the particular Fusion application. Okay. Offerings is not possible. So task list base only you can able to add. So just you want to select the financial offering, it's not possible. You're not able to see that. So only task list you can able to see that. Task list and task only you can able to see that. So offerings you cannot, it's not possible to add. Okay, so that's what we have, that creation of the project, and anytime you can able to extend the task list or task, anytime you can able to delete the any task list to the your existing project. So that is the two options. Once you've done the all configuration, we are using the word called as the freeze. We can able to create the freeze the project, and we can able to create the configuration package. That's what we discussed in the Excel sheet. Once you've done the all configurations, you can able to freeze the project. Okay, if you want to freeze it, here we have the option called as the freeze option. You can able to freeze the setup task list, and we can able to create the package. And we have the called option called as the detach. And detach is nothing but the below screen. It will open the big screen. It will come the below position. What we have the below position, it will open the full screen. Okay, so that is the option we call as the detach option. And we have the assign task. Assign the task means we discussed that if you want to assign the task to the any other user. For suppose in RT implementation project, I have 5 users is going to work on this particular RT implementation project. I want to assign the task to the each user is separately. So user 1, I want to assign the AP configuration. User 2, I want to assign the procurement configuration. User 3, I want to assign the taxation configuration. Like how you want to assign the each user you want to assign. Your manager want to assign to the different tasks to the different consultants. Okay, if you have this requirement, which task list you entire offering you want to assign, otherwise you want to assign the task list, nothing but that just you want to assign the AP configuration, you want to assign the AR configuration, you want to assign the procurement configuration, what exactly you want to assign. Okay, then you can assign the define invoicing and payment configuration. You want to assign the AP configuration, this you can click on the assign task. Okay, when you click on the assign task, here you can able to find out the all employees list. You can able to find out here. Only you are able to see the employees list, only you are able to see here. You're not able to see the consultant list. Only transaction users list you can able to see here. Okay, so here you can assign the same due date for the all users, and then the same due date for the all users. Nothing but you want to give the any target date kind of thing, you can give the target date. Nothing but this task should be complete below. Like if you have anything target date, due date, you want to mention anything, you can mention. You want to give the any note, you want to give the any note to the any user, then you can give the note to the user. Any information, nothing but you are going to be assign this task to the some other consultant, some other transaction user. Nothing but you are able to see assign to that, you can able to see that. And here you can able to select and add it, which user you want to be assigned. Which user you want to assign. You want to assign the any user based on your requirement. So this user I want to assign to the AP configuration. Just you can click on the apply. Then click on that. Done. This task is going to be take care whether this particular person AP, but AP all configuration is going to do whether this particular employee is going to be do whether. This is the way you can able to assign the task list to the different users, and you can able to put on the due date. Once he's logging that particular user, you can able to see that this particular task list, you can able to see that particular AP configurations, you cannot able to see the remaining also. You can able to see that only this configuration you can able to see that. So he's going to start the work. When he's going to start the work, so he's going to change the status. So when you start the work, he's going to be change the status. For suppose when I'm starting with financial, So I'm going to be change my status from that. If I want to do with the define common application configuration the financial, so I want to change the status. So edit status, you can click on the edit status. So I'm going to put on the not yet started, in progress, or completed, or execution with Trojan, or completed with errors. So I'm going to put on the in progress. Just I'm going to start it in progress. If it is complete, I'll change the completed. So I'm going to go for the in progress. Then you can click on the save and close it. Just you can change the status. Based on the status base, your manager can able to monitor the entire project where he can able to monitor. Then just click on the done. Just you can select your project, then click on the overview here. Every time we are open the project, just don't click on the open, just you can select the project, just click on the overview. Here you can able to monitor that. Your manager can able to see that here percentage base in progress. Just we change the one task like a defined common application configuration for the financials. The other task we change the status as the in progress. The remaining all tasks we are not changing anything. Just here you can able to the 10% of tasks. The whole RTA implementation project, the 10% in progress. Nothing but that they started the work. Remaining 90% of tasks still yet not started. Nothing but your manager can able to understand that. So how much percentage is started, how much percentage still yet not started. Nothing but that he can able to, the project information is tracked by the status base and resources base. The status base I can able to track the whole information, and again I can able to track by the resources also, which resources are working in this particular project. Just you can click on the resources status. Here you can able to see your resources information. We have the two resources, one is the RTA, second one is the ROS, what we are adding with. Two resources. Here still had not started anything. Nothing more than we are not changing any status. Still he has not started anything. So nothing more than he can able to track with information the whole project base, and he can able to track the information. Use resources base also you can able to track it. So that's what we have the flexibility to do with this type of activities in the application. Okay, so here you can see the based on the color base not yet started, in progress, completed, execution with force and submit with errors, nothing more than based on the color base you can able to identify here. Okay. And assignment status by task list. Here you can able to see the assignment status by the task list also you can able to see that. And resources status you can able to see that what are the resources, and assignment details also you can able to see that, and which task we are assigned to the which user, the each user you can able to see here. Okay, the resources status. This is a way your manager can able to monitor the project. Okay, just we explore that all options what we have the options in the project screen. The next class what we can do that we'll try to perform the configurations one by one. Just when we are coming this screen, what are the options we have here, just we are going to that. Okay, so the next class we'll discuss with remaining all things. Okay, any questions anyone having? So for the online or offline, any questions you can go ahead from that.
So how do we map, just one question, how do we map to the different methodology for that, this project?
Different methodology. Hello. What is the meaning of different methodology? I'm asking.
Yeah, like OEM methodology and agile methodology. How do we map these projects?
That's the different thing. That is a kind of thing. Is a different kind of thing you're asking. Just here we create the project. That's it. We're not talking about that implementation methodologies. That stages I'm not talking about. We have the separate classes there. We have that almost like a 5 hours class for that methodology. Then we discuss that methodology. Just here we create the project, and we, if you want to assign the tasks to the users, we are talking about that. So if you're coming to the methodologies, there is a difference. We have the APM here. We have the unified methodology we are following. That is a different thing.
Okay.
Any other questions? Got you some message. If I change, I'll be intimate to you, Pradeep. Maybe yesterday I'm traveling. There's a reason I'm not reached to the links and all. If I change, I'll reach to you. Any other question? Anyone having? Okay. If you don't have questions, we'll wrap up the section. I'll intimate to the mails to that. I'll communicate to the mails who are there in the online. Okay. And thank you. Thanks for joining. Have a nice day.